Good morning, everybody. Welcome. First of all, my name is Brian. I own Search and Rescue Cards. I've been watching some videos out there, and I want to respond to a trend that people say stuff is too expensive, and this and that. And it's not to argue anything. I'm not here to say that's right or that wrong or stand on the hill and I'm going to die on it. No, what I want you guys to do, we're all collectors. Let's start there. You can vote with your money, but let's stop for a moment. And when we ask these questions, is this product too expensive? We need to look at all aspects of it. What I'm hearing a lot of times, and it's totally BS. Man, I remember packs used to be this and that. Dude, I'm old enough to remember packs for $1, $1.25, all this mess. Name something that is cheap anymore. Everything is expensive today. Everything's gone up. Cost of everything. There's nothing that has stayed the same when we were 10 years ago, let alone 5 years ago. Everything has increased in value. Okay, you guys? So what I'm trying to say is, when we're talking about these products and everything, let's put our thinking caps on first. And it doesn't mean you got to buy it, but let's just stop for a moment. Let's not complain. Let's think about it from an intellectual thought process, okay? So, what got my goat a little bit was everybody was out there complaining. Now, first of all, this product was out when I was my 30s, okay? SpongeBob. SpongeBob was what brought it up, okay? The reason that I'm making this video is because people are going, oh, I wouldn't pay $40 or $50 for it, but I'd sure would pay $20, $30 for it. That's fair. That's your opinion, and you have the rights to it. But stop. Think about what you're doing. This is a new intellectual property that Fanatics went out and purchased, okay? Now, let's look at the what Fanatics had to do. I have no idea how much they paid or whatever, but you think this was cheap to go get SpongeBob people to sign on board to let them make their merchandise and do that and that? So that costs a lot of money, you guys. And if you don't think it costs a lot of money, because it's a cartoon, remember, it was just in the news that the two co-founders of South Park just increased the cost of selling their product to their TV deal. That went way up. So don't think this is going cheap. So first of all, the company, Fanatics, has to come in, has to pay the rights to this product, and then they're like, okay, we're not just going to make SpongeBob. And you got to remember, probably a lot of people at Fanatics that's doing this is of the age that they grew up into. So they're probably more than likely don't want to put out a crap product because this is their childhood memories, their fun times, escapism. Like I have G.I. Joe, Ninja Turtles, all those great memories. And I can only imagine the memories that people have watching SpongeBob, laughing, escaping, just being a kid. But what did they do? They went out, they just did, dude, first of all, it's not paper. They didn't just make tops and make paper. They made a chrome version, so it's even nicer. So it's nice and chrome. And secondly, let's just go there. Let's get everybody that did on the show, any voice actors or actresses, they got them in there. Didn't matter how small or bigger they were. They got all the voice actors in there. And how cool is that? Oh, you think that's cheap? Oh, have you seen what actors are getting paid for appearances and all this other stuff? That's what I'm trying to say is let's just stop and think of why is the box is this expensive, okay? If you want to use that word, which you can. $40, $50 is not cheap. We have ours for $50. That's what the going rate of it is. So not only is it not paper, it's beautifully chromed. They went out, signed all the actors and actresses, Just because you get the IP doesn't mean you have the rights to the actors and the actresses. You got to go and sign them individually. So that's a lot of more paperwork. More paperwork, also more foot troll. That means you got to pay your employees to go out and do this stuff. Okay? That's a lot of money. Just keeps on piling up. And then the second thing was they were like, hey, okay, man, let's just rock our childhood. Let's have these awesome artists that we love that made this beloved cartoon for us. Let's have them make sketch cards. Boom. So you get sketch cards in here too. And then I think the problem is us card shops are not passing information on to you guys too. So there's another thing you guys got to think of. In these cases here of blasters, you are guaranteed at least 2 autographs per case box. So yes, you're paying $50, but you're going to get an autograph somewhere in there, okay? Yes, it's 40, but it's a pretty damn good number because absolutely nothing out there is guaranteed more than likely for these blasters, okay? But the SpongeBob people said, hey, we're going to throw at least 2 autographs. Least means there might be more. We don't know, but there's at least 2 autographs in these boxes in the case somewhere, okay? So that's awesome. So that's the things we got to think of is what they're making. Now, let's look at the cards. Are they blurry? Are they just thrown together? Is the quality control? I haven't seen hardly any scratches on the cards. I haven't seen print lines. They're very vibrant. They're very colorful. And I love art and I love comic books. So this to me is totally dope. I mean, look how beautiful, vibrant that is. And then look at this. I mean, how cute is that? It reminds me, I had a friend of mine in the shop. She works for us, Bethany. And she was just, it was fun to watch her because she was just giddy with joy because she remembered these special moments. And when you think about these things, they'll bring you back to your childhood. And you'll remember what you were doing and the joy it brought. Like there. And then they have these beautiful kelp cards. You get 2 per box. And so what I'm trying to say is, yes, these are pricey for a certain reason, but they didn't go out and do the cheap side. Now, I would be with you if they had just paper stuff and just threw the boxes together. But if you want $20, $30, let's be honest with you. They can do that, but you guys will be angry because they would just make paper. I'm talking about not chrome, but just the paper, okay? And then you would not have these beautiful, vibrant colors, okay? And you wouldn't have autographs. There's no way you can have autographs. No way. Because you're just, and you got to remember, you got to produce this stuff. This stuff is not cheap. You guys know everything's gone up in prices. Paper, the printing, all that. But anyways, just make a paper. If that's what you guys want, then it'll be $20, $30. But also, let's start over on this one too. You guys are going to set the table for this, okay? And what I mean by that is, you don't buy it, that's fine. You guys, like I said, vote with your dollars because they are trying something new this year. They're trying to get a lot of more intellectual properties that you guys love and know and do it fairly and make it look awesome. They're not putting out crap. They're actually putting out really good stuff. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And then guess what's going to happen? They'll never do this again. But if you guys love what they're doing, maybe they make more. Maybe they go find other IPs. Or maybe this was so popular, they're going to make another one out there. I don't know. But the whole thing is, if you support it, they'll make more. If you don't, you won't see this ever again. But you also got to remember what is happening. And anyways, and the same thing goes for Disney. Has anybody ever gone to Disney? Oh, good Lord, it costs a couple $1,000s to go to Disney World now. It's not cheap. And then also anything with Disney related, all that stuff. Once again, to me, Topps has gone out and they have made a beautiful product. This stuff is a little pricey, but what if Disney, anything with Disney on it is always pricey. Disney is not giving this to fanatics really cheaply. But let's talk about what they did in this. They went outside the box. They were the first ones to ever have Tom Hanks sign an autograph. If you guys know anything, Tom Hanks is the biggest A actor out there. There's nobody in this generation that is big as Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks to me is our Clark Gable. okay? He is that kind of actor. He is signing Tim Allen. I mean, just, I can ramble on. Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal is an icon in the comedian world. He's one of the great goats, okay? And he was one of the founding fathers. He's signed in here. Tim Allen signed in here. All these names, all these actors, all this stuff, they're putting them in there. Then they went and got the sketch cards. They're absolutely beautiful. They're having fun with it. And like I said, I actually appreciate them putting it out because it's easier to sell when you put a lot of time and energy into it and make the product look absolutely beautiful. I love Disney too. It's a very personal side to me because my mom, when I was a kid, your parents did only some special things to you, and it really mattered when I was a kid. So one of them was when a Disney movie came to the theater, my mom actually went. That's the only time she ever went to the theater with us. So it was very special, and she loved Disney. And of course, I became loving Disney. And so a lot of these bring back memories, but I love the fact that they put a lot of effort and love into the cards. Look how beautiful and vibrant these cards are. Just absolutely, absolutely, absolutely gorgeous cards. Fun, little Jack. And I do appreciate it. And the thing about Disney, there's going to be cheaper ones coming out soon. There's going to be more expensive ones. And that's the beauty of what Topps does. They have different price points for you, so you know where you collect. And for these, man, you can go and get these if you don't want one, or a hobby box. So there is choices out there. But you guys, remember, these things are not cheap to make, and they're getting actors on board. I want to support this because I want this more. I was not into Disney until I came back from my conference with Topps, and they were talking about all the stuff they're going to put in there. And then the stinkers went and put baseball. They snuck baseball in here. I know I got to figure out how to get my Cardinal one, okay? All I want you guys to do is just enjoy the hobby. Think about it, okay? And last but not least, I'll probably run a little long on here. Remember, we're collecting to have fun and joy. I mean, how can you not open up a box of here and just smile? Enjoy it. And remember what they're shoving in there. They're shoving so much stuff in there. It's cool. Also, I can tell you this is a very big personal side of mine. Star Wars. I was a Star Wars junkie as a kid. Couldn't get enough Star Wars. Blew my mind. I remember going to the 1977 movie, and I loved it. There was nothing that Star Wars could not make that I did not want and love. And I'm telling you right now, look at this, you guys. Look at this. This was special to me. These are plain Jane paper cards. Nothing special. Look how unfocused the cards are. Really, today's standards look like crap. Great memories. Look at that. Little R2-D2. These are 1977 cards. That time, that was good photos, but that's junk today. Paper. Love it. That was a technology. I support Star Wars. I pay for Star Wars. For my own personal money, I pay Star Wars. So we have gone from my classic, I love it too. Look at this. Beautiful, vibrant. If you'd have told little Brian that he was going to get a Jedi Master just standing there looking like a bad man from the Badlands, just posing on a beautiful, vibrant, chrome finish, I'd have lost my mind. I'd have called you a liar. This is what, and then not only can I find this, I go in there, I find these creative, thinking outside the box artwork they put in there, this Jedi Master. I mean, come on. You're blowing my little 7-year-old mind away, man, that this stuff is real. I've got goosebumps, bro. How can you not be pumped? And not only that, dude, if you'd have told me I could get Luke Skywalker's autograph, all these different people, I'd have called you a liar. Chewie, all those guys, Darth Vader, all sweet baby Jesus, I would have been jumping up in my pajamas. This stuff wasn't around when I was a kid. And then only Topps has gone out and got these guys autographs and these beautiful things. Look at this. This actress is there. She's signing. Doesn't matter how big or small this actress is. Also, a lot of times people like to just to collect their favorite characters and have the voice actor or the actress playing them as there. And then we looked up and pulled a sketch card out of one of our products. And then you get the art. Then not only do you get the sketch card, you also get the guy signing on the. He or she will sign the back, and that's extra original art. And how cool is that? So we have gone from. So there it is, Little Guru. It's black. It's beautiful. I mean, come on, look how vibrant this is. And then these cards are beautiful, but look how much we've come afar. So enough of that. I'm not here to tell you yay or nay. What I'm trying to do is, first of all, we're collectors, and we collect and we support with our money. You don't like this stuff? Don't buy it, and they won't make no more. But if you like what they're doing, buy it. And hopefully, because of our dollars pushing these products, then we can have more. But just remember, before you say something's expensive, now there are things out there are extremely expensive, but I'm talking about this subject we're talking about right now. Is this expensive? I don't think so. You have chrome finish, you have every actors and actresses in here, sketch cards, and short prints and all sorts of stuff. The only time there was another autograph card was from 2003, and I think SpongeBob and Patrick and a couple other people signed, but not much. And they were very limited in there. And this time, and those cards look nowhere near as nice as these. So, and we're in 2025. The cost of living is extremely higher. Everything we're buying is higher. But all I'm just trying to say is stop, think, and then talk. And these are good times to have good conversation. You might not agree with everything I said, and that's fine. This is why it's beautiful to sit down and discuss and debate about what's going on in the hobby. But anyways, I love what's going on. As a shop owner, I can't wait. I don't know how these things are going to sell. We're getting Dune in a little bit. I don't know how it's going to sell. But I like the fact they're taking risks. They're not making the cards look like junk. For one, as a shop owner, it's easier to sell when it's absolutely beautiful. Thought process goes in and all this other stuff. And you know what? I've been buying stuff that I normally wouldn't have touched. Totally enjoyed the SpongeBob because art, the joy it brought to other people. Definitely buying Disney besides the art, the stuff hiding in there. Hopefully I'm finding my St. Louis Cardinal card. I'm really dying to find one. And like I said, just enjoy the hobby, man. It's a tremendous, great time we're in, and it's crazy. It's just crazy what's coming out, and I just cannot wait to see what else is coming out. But anyways, you guys have fun, love each other, enjoy the hobby, and good luck in hunting. And let me know in the comments below kind of what you feel like. But also, I want to hear more about what's the cool stuff you pulled out of these special IPs that are coming out now. And I would love to hear your opinion on it. Do you like what they're doing? Or do you have other ideas like, man, I would love to see this in there or this in there? And like I said, guys, take care. Peace out, man.